Hello everybody, Paula here. I have turned my 100 chart mystery pictures into 100 pocket charts for you. And I've done it 3 different ways. This example you can see here shows it done with numerals, which is the way I've started out doing all of these. But then I realized that I can use my 100 pocket chart to teach so many more skills. So I have created 3 different versions of these 100 pocket charts. I've got one with just straight numerals. I've got one with numbers in base 10. And I've made a 3rd set that has addition and subtraction with and without regrouping. Now, the magic of all of this is I can practice a single skill, or I can mix and match and make my students work on different skills. So let me show you how that works. You can see I've used colorful paper to print my numbers on. So there's no colored ink necessary. Notice it's all straight lines. Grab the paper trimmer. Does not take so long. On the instruction pages for each one of these 100 charts, in each version of these 100 charts, you'll notice that it tells you what color which page needs to be. The page numbers are just the same. Very easy to mix and match. I want to talk about some of the ways that you might use the hundreds pocket charts. So early in the year, I would start out using the numerals. And I could pull a group of students, small group or larger group. Let's look at the number 28. It starts with a 2, that's 2 groups of 10. And then we can look at that second digit again and say, oh, all of the numbers in this column have an 8 at the end. And we can begin to get really familiar with the 100 chart, with looking at the groups of 10 going across and the groups of 1 going down. With whichever skill you're using, once your students have had a little bit of work on it and are ready to practice independently, this is time to pull this out and put it at a math center for independent practice. So there's 100 problems to make one picture. Perfect for a group. They can work together to figure out how to make the 100 chart. Perhaps you're differentiating for different students. You could say students X, Y, and Z are working on the blue numbers, which happen to be in base 10, and students X, Y, Z are working on the brown pages. Oh, those are the numerals. Very easy to differentiate for your students on what they need to practice, as well as what you're doing when you teach it as a lesson. You could also use these as a morning work activity for the first few minutes of class. Put a few problems on each student's desk, and their job is to solve the problems. And for this particular set, the addition and subtraction, they are going to write the answer at the bottom, and then they're going to turn it over and put the answer on the back and put that into the 100 chart. So you could have each student complete several of these as part of their morning routine. How else might you want to use a 100 pocket chart? Well, some days we're going to have inside recess. This is a fun activity, but it's still educational. You could also use it as a classroom reward system. When you spot someone doing something they're supposed to, you could give them a number and they get to go put it in the 100 chart. Students love trying to figure out what the picture is going to be. So every time another number goes in that 100 chart, they're like, ooh, I think it's this, ooh, I think it's that. When this one goes in and there's a big dot, what's the dot for? Is it a clue? Is it an I? What could it be? I find my students get really excited about figuring out what it could be. So using it as a reward system is another fun possibility. Or if you have a math night where you have parents come to school and work with their students, this is a great activity that you can have out on the 100 chart. And because you can hang that 100 chart on the wall or on your pocket chart stand, it doesn't take up any floor space. So I really like that it is a minimal space requirement for this. I hope that you find some of these ideas useful and that you'll grab my Ocean 100 Pocket Chart bundle with all 3 of these great products in it so that you can mix and match also. Have a great day.